Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. We do have a haul for you today. I want to kind of update the situation here. We do have some corn still, a thing of green beans, some stir fry, which will be used here very shortly, broccoli. Anyway, we still have, some things. All of our produce is pretty much gone. The other fridge has, I think, one thing of cottage cheese left in it and the wine. And then this is what we have left: some carrots and some beets and some lettuce. I have a oatmeal bake. I was in the kitchen all day yesterday from like 4 to 11, just trying to get some things done and made. We're gonna have a really busy week coming up, and I'm gonna play single parent for a little while my husband is gone for a bit. So I was just trying to keep things easy for us. So I have a oatmeal bake all prepped. I also wanted to get some stuff so my husband could take it with him, and so they could kind of not have to eat out, so to speak, and then save a little more money. So we also have some pumpkin pancakes here, and half of it was eaten while I was cooking it, which is also after dinner. And so this is what's left, and I'm hoping it will last so that my husband can take about half of it, and then we can have half of it for a breakfast. So those are pumpkin pancakes, and that's made with the other bit of butternut squash. Tonight, we're going to have white chicken chili, and so this is the white beans and the pinto beans, and so this will be gone tonight. This is where it shouldn't be. There we go. Anyway, as you can see, butter situation's gone. This is what my husband was supposed to take for lunch, so not sure what he took. We have, that's actually, we do have an 18 count of eggs still in the other fridge. Anyway, and then some bacon and some all this stuff. I did purchase last night, and by purchase, this was $2.67, and I had $2 in CVS bucks, and so I paid 67 cents for milk, and that's what I used for all of my baking, for the pancakes, for my oatmeal bakes, for the cornbread muffins that I had to go with our white chicken chili, all of that. I also I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, so this is kind of the situation of what we have with food in the fridge. The pantry is still pretty good. If the kids... Okay, does anybody else's kids do this? Are we just weird? I remember doing this growing up, and my kids are doing it too. They eat the pasta raw. Anybody else do that? I know I did growing up with the spaghetti things. We would eat those raw, and then now my kids are doing it. Is it a genetic thing? I have no idea. But anyway, all of that to say, we did do a Walmart haul today. I would not have been able to do this if my check for homeschooling the kid in California hadn't come today. If that hadn't come today, I wouldn't have had the money to do this, but it did, and I just took it and I went for that. We have had, let me just talk like this. We have had some very expensive large expenses happening, and that I talked about how our checking account was really good during the summer. Well, we've had some very large expenses happening. We had to pay the taxes on the house, and we hadn't been saving up for that, just because it was our understanding that the first year's taxes were paid because we're paying last year's taxes this year. So we thought it was covered, and in a way it is, but it doesn't make sense. Somehow, for what we've looked back and looked over, and this is something I'm telling you in case you buy a house or something, it is covered, but it was covered in taking $1,000 out of the closing costs that we would have had to pay when we bought the house. Again, something that we just didn't realize, and so we had like an $800 thing we had to pay for. And then, what was the other one? We also just paid like a $400. It was $500. We just spent $500 because we just bought a washer and dryer. The neighbors moved next door, and they were selling their newly purchased washer and dryer for $500. Now, we bought secondhand twice, and both times they're on their last leg. So I haven't had this experience in where I was in California, where our purchase was just not as great. But up here, I'm finding that it's more the case up here. So I'm learning to be more wise and discerning. But the dryer, we actually have to, our current dryer, before we bought these other ones, the current dryer, you would have to run 2 or 3 cycles to get them dry. And the washer has a smell we cannot get out. I've done everything and it's getting worse. And so, and we've had a couple of times where it won't drain. So we got washer and dryer, we paid our taxes. And then if you are following me on Instagram, we had an accident, not like a terrible accident, just somebody bumped their head on my windshield, not as a break. Someone was in the front seat getting something. I scared them. They jumped up, banged their head on the windshield, and now we got to replace the windshield. So all that to say, if that check hadn't come in, we're pretty on finances. We're not going to starve. Please do not think we're going to starve. We'll be fine. But if we were just relying on that checking account, we would be in debt. So took the check that I got today. Instead of saving it for the next month that I usually do, I went and got some groceries. There's another thing that I did this week, and that is Ibotta offered me a free Thanksgiving dinner to, you know, sign in on my account online and link it to my account on Walmart.com, so that if I make any purchases on Walmart.com, it'll link it to Ibotta and blah, 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 blah. So I did that. I don't do the shopping, Walmart online shopping. I've just not seen pretty good results with it, especially when it comes to produce. I want to choose my own produce. So I just decided I don't want to do that. Anyway, and I think it costs more. I think I've calculated that it costs more to do that. So, and when else is Mom going to just get out and be able to do something? I hate shopping. It sounds wonderful. I would love to do where somebody else shops for me, but I would have to pay for that, and I can't afford that. Ibotta said, hey, if you do all this, we're going to give you a free Thanksgiving dinner. Everything is going to come back to you. You're going to pay it out of pocket, but it'll come back to you, and you'll get a free dinner. So I did that, and then I had some other things on Ibotta that I did. One of them I messed up, and I'll talk about that. But I also wanted to say, while this video is not sponsored by Ibotta, I wish it was, Ibotta is offering somebody that's a friend that I give a reference code to be able to do this as long as supplies last. So I'm going to try to get this video up for you tomorrow. It's Friday when I'm filming it. Should be able to get this up for you tomorrow. Bonus video for the week. You want to say hi?
No.
Okay. And if you want to do this too, I mean, this is really helpful for tight times. If you don't want to link it up, I understand. But I'm going to leave it down below anyway. Already for Ibotta, I have cashed out $60 and I have used it for 2 months. Most of what I have done has been free after rebates, things that I already do. So the 10-cent things, like buy milk and you'll get 10 cents, buy eggs and you'll get 10 cents, buy whatever, you know, non-brand thing, get 10 cents. Over time, 50 cents a week ends up being, you know, $25 a year. So, or no, $12.50 a year. So why not do it? Why not have $12.50 in my pocket? Anyway, it's meat. Sometimes they have some meat things, and then you find meat on clearance, and then you almost get free meat. It's fantastic. Anyway, so I'm going to show you what I got here. I did a little bit, but I did that. There are 5-ish items that you probably won't see. Let's just count them. My son is borrowing $10 from me. He got a knife and is borrowing $10 to pay. So that'll get paid back, but it does come into the total, which is $124. My daughter got a little bell doll. She's collecting these little dolls, and that's something that she wants to do. She got that. She does chores for me and earns things like that. And then my other son, the little John boy, he got a little yellow card for 94 cents. Again, he does chores, and these are just things that they can cash in for that. And so he's going to do that. And then my other son that was with me, he wanted a knife as well as the older one, and I said, you're going to have to pay for it. And we were walking up, and then he's like, you know what, I don't think now's the right time. And so my 8-year-old son turned around and walked back and put it away. And so I bought him some of those little Taki chips things and acknowledged that he made a very tough but mature decision. And I just was kind of rewarding him with that. I knew he likes Takis. I never buy those Taki chips, ever. And so for $1.25, I think is what they were, I did that for him. Just something to acknowledge that, hey, I know you made this tough decision. Thank you for doing that. So we did all of that, and then I'm trying to think, is that the only things I don't think you will see here? I think those are the only things you're not going to see there because they are already off and using those. And I'm looking over and I'm like, wait a minute, I purchased these today. The other thing we got, we'll just start doing this now. So the other thing I got was, these were in the clearance bin, they were $1.49. These are Cocoa Crisp M&Ms. M&Ms are my one weakness, and so that's what I got, and my eldest and I are just going to kind of enjoy them. You want to go get some to Emma? I don't think she's had any yet.
Yeah, she took some.
She took some? Okay, so let's put those away. Anyway, so my total today was $120.81. I just got notice from Ibotta that they have credited my account. Let me pull this up. So you have earned, wait, did they put it up here? Let's see, these are all the things that I earned on. I earned that. So $30 minus whatever we spent, $120. So this is about $90, and I told you there's $10 that was being borrowed, and then we had $125, $5, $625, $725. So $725 of that $90 go into things for the kids. Okay, so let's get started on what is still here. We have a bunch of pencils around the house and no erasers, and every single morning when we pull out schoolwork, it's this mad dash to find something with an eraser. So I picked up some erasers, and we're just gonna hoard these like the gold they are. We are also out of batteries, and so these were the cheapest. I don't typically buy the cheapest. I think Duracell has always proven that they have lasted the longest, but just trying to save a little money right now. I got some olive oil. We are almost out of every oil that I have. I think I've got about a quarter cup left, and I was not comfortable in being out of oil. These I purchased for $2. I have a local Amish family that I always buy eggs from, and if you can see, I really didn't need eggs this week, but I always just try to keep that communication open between us, between me and the Amish family, because I know that they really need the money, and I could do $2 this week, and we're just going to have some scrambled eggs, and it helps them. They have so much right now that they're trying to sell, and so for $2 a dozen for homegrown eggs, it's phenomenal. So no, we didn't need it, but it's my gesture to let them know that I'm thinking about them, and I'm trying to support them in whatever way I can, especially since we've missed a couple of weeks here. All right, and then I got some unsweetened coconut to make more granola, because this is, even though I was so excited, I was like, yes, we're almost down to the last of the granola after all the bakes, all the granola that I made, and I saw that. So I still want to make another batch of granola. That went really well, and then I'll just use this instead of the chocolate chips this time. I don't remember if I showed you me making that, but I made a bunch of granola. These were on sale for 50 cents, and they were originally $2.24, and I think when my siblings came here, we always do this girls' night where we do face masks and nails. It's so much fun. As you can see, I don't really have much to do, but we do it anyways. And I was like, let's save some money for next time they do it. So we all have the same one, but you know what? For 50 cents, who cares? So I picked up a bunch, and I'm just going to set them aside for when my siblings come. This is the one thing on Ibotta that I messed up. So I thought this was 118. I think that's what it was. I think it's 118. I thought it was 118. It's actually 238. I was looking at the wrong sticker. And so I thought, oh, for 18 cents for, you know, some bars, this will be really great for after church. Actually, it's not 118. It was 238. And so it was 138, I think, for 10 bars, which isn't the best price. It's not a bad price. It just isn't the best for not really having any protein. So it is what it is. This was 24 cents, and my little girl asked if she could have that for her room, and I couldn't resist, I'll be honest. Gifts are my love language. I picked up another thing of flour because I am almost out, and if I want to start the sourdough again, I'm going to need some of this flour. I was all out of vanilla. I hadn't used it in any of my bakes, in a couple of things that I really needed it for. Oh, the cake the other day, I didn't have any. And it made me really sad. This is so expensive. I need to make it again. I'm going to leave down below links to Amazon. It's so easy to make your own vanilla. You take these vanilla beans, and I find mine on Amazon very inexpensive, and you put them in vodka, and then you put them in the back of your pantry for like 6 months, and it's phenomenal, and it lasts forever, and it's the cheapest way to do it. Highly recommend, especially because usually during Christmas, the grocery stores clearance, or they don't clearance, but they put their vodka on special, especially around New Year's time. Best time to do it. I picked some of these up. They were $1.70, and the kids asked for bratwurst again. We haven't done a wheat meal this week, so I said, okay, we'll do that. I got this, and honestly, I saw a recipe for it, and I didn't even think to look if this had wheat. And as I was laying it out, I was like, oh, I wonder if this has wheat. Yep, it does. I have never bought this before that I can recall, and so I'm a little disappointed in that. I would have just picked up some Progresso things, which as I was checking out, I saw somebody comment on my video that they didn't know Progresso made gluten-free stuff. Yes, Progresso makes a gluten-free cream of mushroom. Their clam chowder is gluten-free, and there's another one, and I can't remember what it is, but there is a couple that are gluten-free, so check the back. You're gonna, when you look for, what I do is I look for this contains blah 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 and may contain. Usually the may contain isn't, as long as it's not in here, you're fine. But most of those are just wheat, or I'm sorry, just dairy. They don't have the wheat. So just tip for you to know if you're trying to be gluten-free. And especially because you don't have to add the milk to those progressive soups like you do the Campbell's. You don't have to add the milk to it when you're making anything. All out of cheese. Like our lasagna that we're having for lunch is poor man's lasagna because it's just got a shred of cheese on it. And you'll see that video very soon here. We were out of milk, and honestly, I didn't even look at this. I just asked my daughter to grab a milk, and she got the sweetened kind, which I can't really use that for like soups or baking because it tastes nasty. So, oh well. And then this was on sale for $1.95. A couple nights ago, I made some spinach and some bacon grease, some salt and pepper, and it was so good. My husband asked if I could do that again, and so I picked that up to do it with. I found this in the clearance thing, and actually a couple of days ago we were at the Dollar General, and my son was looking at the wallets because he said that he really needed another one. And so when I saw this in clearance, I'm like, oh, I'll stick that in his stocking. So that's why I have that. We are out of butter, as I showed you, and I have some sweet peas here. I can't remember why I was like, I remember. Sweet peas. I can use the carrots in the fridge and these sweet peas and do fried rice with them. That's why I needed that. Okay, these were another things. These were $3, and then on my Ibotta there was a $1.50 off rebate or cashback thing, so you get $1.50 back. I'm sorry, the glare. I don't know if I can make this work. Sorry, glare. It's just gonna have to happen. Anyway, so they were $1.50 off, and so I was like, you know, $1.50 for my husband to have some lunches. If these, I don't think these go bad. He can take one tomorrow for work because he has to work this Saturday. But I was also thinking these would really work for him to take when he has to go to his pastor's conference. And so these would be good lunch ideas. So for $1.50, that's cheaper than going out to eat, I think. So I picked those up. I thought I was looking for some kind of used by, and I didn't see. I don't see any. Oh, here we wait. Used by 1111. And so he he leaves the 11th. Okay, well, oh well. Still for $1.50. Great lunches. He can take those to work. I'm not worried about it. One thing of cream cheese. I need it for the white chicken chili that I'm making, as well as some diced green peppers. I saw this and I had a heart-stopping moment, and I was like, you know, I really want a salad with some olives and baby corn. That has always been my favorite salad, and mushrooms, but I skipped the mushrooms and splurged on the baby corn. I have not been babysitting at all this week, or last week actually. There's just been some family things going on with the people that I babysit for. But I should be starting it up this next week, and so I picked up these macaroni and cheese. These were 33 cents, and so, or 34 cents. These are 34 cents. So I picked those up, and then these are 2 cream sweet of corn, which has ingredients that aren't necessarily the best. But again, it's for the white chicken chili recipe that I really want to try, and you'll see that video probably this Monday. If this goes up tomorrow, like I'm hoping it is, you'll see that video Monday of the meals that we had this week. I have more bananas because this is all the fruits that we have, and I really do want to keep on top of the fruits. I picked up some celery because I thought we had so much celery, but apparently when you juice it, you don't get as much celery juice as you thought. And so my husband used all my celery up, and I need some celery. So that is kind of ish what I went in for. That's what I went and got, and those are the deals that I found. And then let's kind of talk about, these are what I got from Ibotta for free. So we have one thing of green beans, and they have to be these specific ones. And so I know somebody got some free mac and cheese, but that wasn't available to me, which means that it's been used up. There was also some Coke on there, but we don't really drink soda, so I didn't pick it up. But I got a cranberry sauce, a cream of mushroom, some fried onions. My daughter loves green bean casserole, and so I kind of want to make one for her. We have a turkey gravy. We have wheat cornbread stuffing and some garlic potatoes. And then this is the turkey that was free, or you could use the coupon to get $10 off a frozen turkey, but I just did this one. It was fine. This one you cook in a bag. That kind of scares me. But anyway, this is the one that was free. I was like, free meat, I'll take it. We'll run with it. Free food, I'm going to run with it. And that's on Ibotta. And again, I will leave my code down below for you if you guys want to try it. And like I said, I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, we'll have some free food. I'm not going to really complain about this or, you know, look a gift horse in the mouth. Like I was thinking, I could just make some sausages in the fridge with some mashed potatoes, make a small green bean casserole. This would not be enough for a whole family, but maybe as a lunch and small side, we could do that with some cranberry sauce. I actually was planning, this is a cornbread mix, but it still does have wheat in it. And I was actually going to use this in a meatloaf, because I made a meatloaf once that we loved so much, and it was using a stuffing mix. And so I was thinking maybe that would help kind of cut down how much wheat we ate. I don't know, we'll see. But this would be, you know, something really nice to have when my husband's gone, just something quick and easy. Not take up a whole lot of time. I did not buy any potatoes. I just realized that, but that's okay. We've got some sweet potatoes that we need to eat up. And anyway, this is just what I got today. Again, I spent $120. I think it's what I showed you on the receipt. I spent $120. I got $29 back. So about $30. So that left it down to $90. My son needs to pay me $10 back, so that brings us down to $80. Basically what I spent here. And I'm like, where did that $80 go? So we have some of the batteries. That was kind of expensive. The vanilla's expensive. This is expensive. So I did have to get some kind of expensive things. And then we picked up a couple of things ahead of time. It's amazing to me how quickly things adds up. I'll leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.